today is that of a High Court judge in Madras raising doubts over Jayalalitha's death and the circumstances leading up to her last hour. The judge, Justice Vaidyanathan, says it's his personal opinion, but he has doubts over the death of J Jayalalithaa due to the circumstances leading up to it. Justice Vaidyanathan raised concerns, citing media reports, saying that media has questions, so do I. It's not just that. Some die-hard supporters of Jayalalithaa also allege a conspiracy behind what they call is her murder, pointing the finger at Sasikala Natarajan's husband, who did not enjoy good relations with Jayalalithaa. It's not just these conspiracy theories. The secrecy, the privacy angle, as well as the conspiracy theory, that constitutes the debate and the central theme of our debate today. Does the judge have a point? Should there be a white paper as the PMK, the DMK and many other parties are demanding right now? Or are they just playing politics because they see a vulnerability, perhaps a chance to eat into the cadres or the vote bank that Jayalalithaa left behind? It's a big story given the fact that there are still many questions lingering over the circumstances that led up to Jayalalitha's death. Sasikala Natarajan, meanwhile, has assumed the general secretaryship of the party. It is safe to assume right now that Sasikala is the most powerful person within the ADMK, with a large chunk, if not all, of the cadres behind her solidly and supporting her nomination. She has effective control of the party. That's beyond a shadow of a doubt right now. But the naysayers still out there. Will they be effective at all? Remember, there have been suggestions that her body should be or could be exhumed and a post-mortem, an autopsy done on a dead body of Jayalalithaa to find out what the truth is. Now, that itself is riddled with problems because it's such a sensitive matter. Tonight, on the debate, we'll talk about that. But first, take a look at the story we filed. You're watching The Nation at Night.
On the 6th of December, Tamil Nadu's iconic then Chief Minister was laid to rest after succumbing to a prolonged illness. More than 3 weeks later, the state is still not clear as to who or what took Jaya away from the people. And even a High Court judge couldn't help but voice the question in the minds of many pro-transparency activists.
Madras High Court has come out and observed that there is a mystery around J Jayalalitha's death. The judge has himself pointed out how there were many mysteries around her health status and why no proper health bulletin was issued.
As far as the reports of the Apollo, and there are contradictions, and there was a impression, thumb impression by said to have been made by Jayalalithaa in the election nomination papers, and subsequent to that there are several contradictions which I have enlisted in the petition.
The High Court's observation provided fodder for opposition parties to continue their demand for a white paper into Jaya's treatment and death. But for now, both centre and state governments have insisted that the question of foul play does not arise.
It was also compounded by the fact that the Tamil Nadu government never came out with any official statement, which was rather strange.
Honorable Central Minister Venkaiah Naidu ji gave a very clear statement interview in a Tamil channel. Even the judge can watch it. He said very clearly there is no doubt in Honorable CM's death. Every day PM office is monitoring there. Every day we are getting report there.
We in the centre, we do not have any suspicion unless some facts come to notice. Just suspecting everything is no good.
I think that you should wait for the regular bench to hear the matter to see what is the relevant political or legal issue that the High Court would want to examine, if at all it wants to go any further.
I don't think any explosive finding is going to come out of the inquiry, because Apollo very clearly said from time and again she had a history of diabetes and she had a congestive lung problem.
Now that a Madras High Court judge has resonated what many people in Tamil Nadu feel, would the party still continue in the same vein? Why can't they put out her discharge summary or at least some of her medical records in the public domain?
A justice from the Tamil Nadu High Court, Madras High Court, has come forward. It's a welcome one. So the government should not make any delay.
In In the battle of privacy versus secrecy versus conspiracy, can we really trust the so-called official version? With Priyamvada, Lokpriya and Tapas in Chennai, Bureau Report, NewsX.
History continues, and there are some valid questions I have to concede, but is it largely something that people who see a vulnerability want to exploit? Those are two sides of the same coin. Tonight we'll discuss that. Joining us tonight on the panel is A. Saravanan, spokesperson of the DMK. He joins us from Chennai. Apsara joins us. She's a member of the ADMK also. She was the first journalist to have interviewed Sasikala. That happened a long time ago, but it's still very relevant today. Might give us an insight into how Sasikala works. Deepa Jaikumar joins us. Jayalalitha's niece, also from Chennai. She's also raised some questions about the last days and how they were handled about Jayalalitha. Suman Siraman completes the panel. Political analyst also joins us from Chennai. Shashikala Pushpa, she's a rebel MP of the ADMK. She also joins us from Chennai. Thank you all for being with us. Deepa Jaikumar, thank you for being on the program. First of all, let me ask you, you were one of the first people to raise doubts on how I'm being told right now that Deepa is not connected yet. But so I'll go across to Suman Raman to get a neutral perspective on this before I get to the politicians on the panel. Suman Raman, we've spoken about this earlier as well. So let's just delve into the story. There are still valid questions left about why there was so much secrecy involved when Jayalalitha was admitted to hospital. She was there for 75 days, remember, and at one point even a statement was released saying Jayalalitha had attained rebirth. A few days after that, she passed away amid a shroud of secrecy. Do you think the fact that a High Court judge today has reiterated those suspicions and doubts, does that give more traction to the demands of the likes of Shashikala Pushpa and Deepa Jaikumar? Subhas.
No, I think there are two things that you have to look at, Athar. First one, of course, is at this stage, I don't think it is fair for anybody to allege any kind of malafide because there is no evidence to allege any malafide at this stage. What you have is the complete shroud of secrecy that there was over a period of 75 days and why, even constitutional authorities like the governor were not allowed to see her. Why was there no, photograph published? And the hospital also kept giving out these kind of extremely carefully worded press releases, which never actually, every press release, virtually everyone except the few at the end, actually said she was continuously improving. But improving from what? That was never at any point specified. So I think that while we should not be, we should not make any allegations at this stage of malafide because I don't think that we have enough evidence for that at this stage. But certainly the fact that this was so mysterious, so completely secretive, far more than what has been the case for other leaders in India even in the recent past. So of course there are one or two exceptions that can be pointed out, but by and large, most of the leaders,
I agree with you, Suman. There shouldn't be any allegations at this point. I agree with you on that point. But do you also concede, Suman, do you also concede that these questions that are being raised are valid? Let's put the allegations aside. Those allegations by certain people, I won't name them right now. Let the allegations be set aside. Yeah. Don't you think the judge has a point when he says the public has the right to know? He's in fact instructed the LG today, and I quote him now, Justice Vaidyanathan, what is it that you say? The right to live is a fundamental right. The public should know what has happened.
No, I think I agree to a large extent in the sense that, look, we don't even know the diagnosis. So far, except for the first day when we were told that she had gone to the hospital with fever and dehydration. That's exactly my point, Suman Siraman. And then the next day we were told that she
know what the diagnosis was.
Well enough to
That's exactly my point. Suman, allow me.
We don't know the diagnosis.
That's exactly my point. We don't even know what the diagnosis is. So let me get Saravanan on this. Saravanan, a white paper has been demanded by your leader Stalin. PMK has joined in. Ambumani Ramadas has joined in. Now there are people who have misgivings really. They fear you're trying to exploit a vulnerability that has arisen in the ADMK cadre after Jaya's death. But there are questions that still linger in many cadres of even the ADMK right now. The public has a right to know what happened.
Yeah, exactly. See, today's the judge's opinion, I think it resonates with the opinion, or I think it is the mind of the people which has prompted the judge to ask this question. This is the question that is foremost. What happened to our leader? What happened to Selvi J Jayalalithaa? Because nobody knows what happened. If you look at the reports, none of the reports which has been issued by the hospital has been signed by a doctor except for one report, and she is also not the doctor who gave treatment to Selvi J Jayalalithaa. And why the state of Tamil Nadu is keeping such a strong silence over the health of the chief minister even after her death? Such a tall leader does not deserve this. I think her death should not be shrouded in mystery, and the prognosis and the diagnosis should be made public. Nobody wants all the details of her treatment. But what happened to her? For what condition she has been admitted to the hospital? And what was the treatment given? I think that would suffice. When it is in public domain, so I think the curiosity is going to be satisfied and there are going to be no more speculations.
So it's just curiosity that you say, and a rightful one at that. Apsara, let me ask you this. We discussed this yesterday on our program, and you steadfastly refused to admit the possibility of any cover-up. Now, as I can understand and concede, since Suman Siraman says it's too early to allege anything, let me just quote to you what Gautami has written in her letter to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi. She says, and I quote her now, what/whose authority restricted access to the late Chief Minister? Who went and care when her health was apparently in such a delicate state? And who is responsible for these answers to the people? Apsara, first of all, do you concede the people have a right to know what happened to their leader?
It was the most publicly covered hospitalization of any state leader. Central government was constantly monitoring it. Multiple DMK leaders and multiple leaders across political lines came and visited the former Chief Minister Purachi Televi Amma. The DMK has nothing else to talk about, and Gautami's blog never got a response from the person she wrote it to. So it's irrelevant.
Nobody visited. They visited.
That's exactly what I'm saying. You're saying it was the most covered spectacle.
Nobody
was allowed to go inside.
Nobody visited. They visited the hospital.
Exactly. They were not allowed to go inside.
The health bulletins. The health bulletins. Let me finish.
Yes.
Let me finish.
Yes.
The health bulletins were very concise and articulate. The head of the hospital and multiple global doctors have certified that the best possible treatment was given to the Chief Minister. And I think all the leaders who visited consulted the right professionals and the people who had access to Madam. So I don't think it's irrelevant. People have nothing else to talk about. I think they're very, very threatened by the support that the AIDMK and Chinnamma are getting right now.
All right, let me just get to Sasikala Pushpa then. Sasikala Pushpa, you of course, in the middle of this all, during that 75 days that she was in hospital, you wrote to the central government, you raised questions about the secrecy surrounding it all. Nobody was allowed access except for Sasikala Nadarajan and her very close confidant. She was running the show. Why was there so much secrecy? Sasikala Pushpa?
Yes, sir. Firstly, the doubt starts from the day 1, September 22, because the reason why she has been allowed to hospital sent through ambulance for just the reason that dehydration and fever. This is the first question. As a Honorable Chief Minister of a state, for dehydration and fever, why should she go by ambulance to a hospital? People asking question on it, number one. And number two, nobody has been allowed to meet the Honorable Chief Minister. But now Mr. Ram Mohan Rao is giving statement that Amma, because of Amma only I was there, if Amma could have been here like that and all. But when Amma was there at the hospital for 75 days, he was the Chief Secretary there. Did he give any statement on that day? So it is the responsibility of the government, because she is a public person, public property. People must know, the voters must know what had happened to their leader who have voted. They have the right to know. So it is the responsibility of the government to tell, to communicate the public that what had happened to their chief minister.
So, Apsara, let me ask you this question.
They have given only inconsistent statements.
Okay, so inconsistency is what the charge is, Apsara. Let me just ask you a couple of questions. Can you deny that all senior police officers, Apsara, who were appointed by Jayalalithaa, were transferred immediately and overnight after she was admitted to hospital? The question is, who gave the orders and why? There was so much police around the hospital, nobody was allowed to go inside. All the cameras, CCTV cameras were uninstalled according to our reports. Why? Why so much secrecy?
First of all, Sashikala Pushpa shouldn't talk about inconsistency, but that aside, it's purely for administrative purposes and ensuring thorough law and order in the state, which I'm sure every party agrees, including the DMK and everybody else.
Cameras is law and order?
Best.
Apsara, come on. Nobody is going to buy that explanation. Apsara, please. Turning off CCTV cameras, overnight transferring all officers appointed by Madam Jayalalithaa. How is that related to law and order?
Whatever the administrative decisions are taken at the higher level of government are done for the best interest of the person concerned who's hospitalized and for the public who are basically thronging the hospital. So Sashikala Pushpa talking about inconsistency, I think why did the Chief Minister arrive in an ambulance is absolutely irrelevant, and she shouldn't be talking about these things right now, and she should look at resurrecting her image, which is an absolute shambles.
All right, I'll get Sashikala Pushpa to answer that, but in just a bit, I also want to go across to Deepa Jaykumar and Sanjay Hegde, who joins the panel. Sashikala wants to say something. Go ahead, Sashikala. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, inconsistency, why I am referring the term is that someday some spokesperson from AIADMK says that Amma is eating idli. Next person says on another day that Amma is going to come home, she is recovering. Suddenly somebody says that she got cardiac arrest. Inconsistent statement. People feels that only because of by-election they are doing drama like that. That's why I use the term inconsistency.
No, but there are inconsistencies. I'll give you
going
that.
to be shifted to the normal one?
No, there are inconsistencies.
She's standing,
and no matter what Apsara says, there are inconsistencies. I will point them out in due course in time. But first, Deepa Jaykumar, you are also one of those who demand the entire truth should come out. You gave an interview, an exclusive one to my colleague Priyamvada. You raised all those questions in that interview as well. Do you think today the High Court judge repeating many of his concerns are the same as many others in Tamil Nadu, including you?
No, I have been repeating from the first day that all the procedures, all the treatments, whatever was carried out should be made public, and each and every process, every step should be explained. This is my only demand, and I am not making serious allegations that something was there was a conspiracy and no such things. But the procedures, they need to be explained to everyone.
Okay, that's a very, very simple position to take, Sanjay Hegde, and a completely understandable position to take. Now, Jayalalitha's niece, Deepa Jaykumar, is not alleging any malafide intentions. She's not saying there's a conspiracy, but she wants to know the entire truth. Why is there such an effort, it seems, to cover the truth and the circumstances of Jayalalitha's death? Sanjay Hegde.
See, you must remember that she was in life a very private person. All these people who want so many things about her death now, many of them could not approach her in real life as well. She maintained an air of privacy, and probably those who were with her tried to give her the same thing. But now that she is dead, the question may need to be asked, but they have to be asked in a manner that the dignity of death is respected. You see, one way of doing it is for
there is a suggestion
all her
today,
medical
Sanjay,
records
that
to be
there is
made
a suggestion
public.
today by the judge itself. Let's exhume the body.
Just put the medical records
body,
out
how can dignity
on
in
the
death,
internet.
how can
Let
dignity,
people see it. Let people take
Sanjay,
whatever.
Sanjay, if you say there should be dignity in death, if the only way of knowing what happened to Jayalalitha
whatever they want to see or read into it, let them read it. But
exhumation is not the way. That will not respect the dignity.
I'm sorry, there's an echo in my ear, that's why I'm stopping. But my simple point is, put her medical records out on the internet, let people draw their own conclusions. But the matter should be put a quietus to in as dignified a manner as possible. Right now, we see a set of people trying to play games with the death. That should stop.
And do those people include some political parties as well, Sanjay? Not naming anyone?
Absolutely. The government at the center is obviously playing games. They probably want a split in the party, and they hope that the ensuing turmoil ensures that those people who after a split do not find a place will come back, and maybe the BJP will have a second South Indian state where they are a serious player. Unfortunately, this is very short-term thinking. Dravidian politics does not work like that. There is a solid basis to the Dravidian movement, and central parties would do best to stay away.
Okay, so Sumansi Raman, let me put that to you in a different manner. Is there some fishing happening in troubled waters right now?
Look, to me it doesn't appear like that. In fact, to me it looks like both the AIDMK and the BJP are on the same page on this, because if you see among the few parties which have not asked for any kind of an inquiry, it is one of the parties is the BJP. In fact, even within the Congress, one section of Congress leaders have actually asked for an inquiry. So, apart from the DMK, the PMK and so on. So, the BJP doesn't seem, and mind you, the BJP, the leadership should know periodically involved in the treatment. Neither did they come out with any, which is what the judge has asked today in court, saying he's told the legal counsel for the central government there also that you also knew what happened, but you have not spoken a word. So I think the point is, I don't see it the way Sanjay Hegde does, in the sense that the BJP might be trying to create some fissures with the AIDMK. On this one issue, both of them, both the parties seem to be keen on not having an inquiry. I think the point that Deepa Jayakumar made about nobody actually alleging any malafide at this point, which is the same point I also said at the start. But for the sake of all those, who were so, devoted to Ms. Jayalalithaa as a leader, I think that, the people deserve to at least know what actually happened.
So then there is a simple way then. Deepa Jayakumar, let me put it to you this way. There's a simple way of knowing that.
Internationally reputed hospital chain like the Apollo Hospital not to put things out in public domain.
Deepa Jayakumar wants to come in. If what Sanjay Hegde suggested, Deepa Jayakumar, that all her medical records, the diagnosis and the prognosis.
Yes, if I can interrupt.
Yes, should that be put out
want to make
in the public domain? Deepa.
Yes, it should be put out in the public domain to end all the speculations, to end all the rumors. And as rightly pointed out, the dignity should be given, the respect should be given to Madam Jayalalithaa, not only as my aunt, but as one of the great leaders of our time and, from Tamil Nadu. I really think the disputes, all this should end, the speculation, the rumors, everything should end. Should it be made public and should it be made clear? That's really very important.
Well, absolutely. I couldn't agree with you more, Deepa Jayakumar. Why the secrecy? Why the cover-up? Apsara, let me come back to you and ask you a simple question. Let's consider one thing. Jayalalithaa, the former Chief Minister, was naturally unwell. Everybody knows that. There is absolutely no two ways about it. The question is, why didn't the hospital release any photographs of Jayalalithaa, despite saying she was regaining her health, even when doctors had confirmed that just a week before she suffered the cardiac arrest, that she was completely well and was capable of eating food and breathing on her own. Throughout the month of November, the doctors kept claiming she had completely recovered and would return home any day. They even said she was not even kept in the ICU, but in the general ward where she was undergoing physiotherapy. Now, aren't these conflicting statements of eventually what happened? If this is exactly what happened, what is the problem in putting out the medical diagnosis?
As regular citizens itself, all of us, when we're unwell, take a moment to appear before guests or people who visit us. She was the Chief Minister of the state in her most vulnerable state, fighting her own battles. How can you ask at that stage to release photographs? I think she deserves privacy. I think her medical confidentiality should be respected, and trust the hospital and the global medical professionals and the people who are visiting the hospital and making statements. Why is the opposition or many political parties just casting aspersions because they have nothing else to talk about? They're still.
When MGR was unwell, he was in Singapore. He signed a letter and he signed a note to his people saying he was recovering. When Rajnikant was in hospital, he had released a small clip to his fans.
Amma released a letter saying it was rebirth for her.
Rajnikant released a clip if they didn't have any misgivings, or their doctors didn't have any misgivings about giving visual proof to his supporters, why such hesitation from Jayalalithaa and the people surrounding her?
Amma released a letter saying it was rebirth for her. I think she also thanked the public for the resounding victory in the 3 constituencies. What is the crashing need for release of photographic evidence of a woman ailing in hospital and trying to recover?
Even if I concede that point, don't you think releasing her medical records would completely put this controversy, if it is one, to rest?
The hospital released periodic medical bulletins and there were press conferences where
Signed by
journalists
whom?
asked questions.
Signed by whom?
And I'm sure Deepa
Jaykumar
also
signed by CEOs of hospitals.
Deepa Jaykumar also turned up at opportune moments and interacted with all the media and had her own assessment of the situation.
Okay,
so I don't believe all these people who are using the media to make a name for themselves.
Okay, so Saravanan, do you believe the media is being used and being played by people who want their own gains? Because
I like to interrupt. I like to.
Yes, Deepa, yes.
I like to say those were not my intentions, and I'm very clear on what I'm saying. The only reason I came to the hospital was because she's my aunt, and I had every right to see her as a blood relative. Apart from that, I had no interest of turning up to the media or trying to project myself or use this opportunity. It is unrealistic, and I don't agree. This is not the right thing to say.
Let me ask you, Deepa, when you were denied...
Deepa Jaykumar's brother was granted access to the hospital. He clearly contradicted all her media interviews. Yes. Deepa Jaykumar was never there when Amma was in political wilderness or lost an election. Turning up when Amma is no more and claiming her legacy is absolutely the lowest ebb of politics and the lowest ebb of mourning a personal loss.
That's a direct allegation against Deepa. Deepa, would you like to respond?
Yes, I've been repeatedly saying these are not my intentions, and I never turned up for this. I can't go on taking accusations like this, saying I came, I turned up only after she became ill, and that now I'm doing all this drama to claim her legacy. It is not true. When questions were raised to me regarding the political scenario which is now taking place in Tamil Nadu, I just gave open answers. And I seriously believe there is nothing wrong in my saying that I have an interest in politics.
Okay.
I think you got it all wrong, and you're not looking at it in the right perspective.
Okay, let me
My
just go to
only
A7
intention
right now.
was to visit her.
Okay.
And I never did anything more than that.
But you still believe the medical record should be put in the public domain, and you stand by that, Deepa? Yes or no?
It should be done for two reasons, basically to end all these wild rumors and speculation and put them to rest. Primarily, it should definitely be done at least for that cause, if not for anything else.
All right, A7, I'll take closing comments now, starting with you. When Apsara says that this is just political parties or individuals trying to cash in on a great loss, on a vacuum really that has been created by Jayalalitha's death, how much do you agree with that? And also, do you believe that making allegations at this point perhaps could be counterproductive? If only the medical records, the prognosis and the diagnosis is put out in public domain, this debate wouldn't even happen. We wouldn't have to talk about this anymore.
See, we talk about people taking advantage of a loss or mourning. Who's taking advantage of this loss? It is their own persons. On the day of the death of Selvi J Jayalalithaa, the Chief Minister took oath. Where did the mourning go? Where did the grief go? When MGR died for 45 days, nobody, there was just, an interim measure which took care. Only after the official mourning or 30 days or 45 days was over, the new Chief Minister took over. What happened to that? Who is taking advantage of the vulnerable political situation? Who is the biggest beneficiary of the death now? So it is just mud-racking. Our leader did not want any inquiry. We wanted just a report, a white paper report. Till now, there is no authentic report or authentic thing authorized by any agency, any statutory agency on the death of Selvi J Jayalalithaa. The Tamil Nadu government, why is it so reluctant to give a report on the death? As pointed out by all the panelists, let her give a dignity at least in the death. So the only way to do that is to put all the speculations to end. Put all the speculations to end. Give us a report by an authentic person.
Suman C. Raman, then Sanjay Hegde.
Athar, yeah. I think in the best interest of the government, of the state government, and also the central government, which is because they also were involved in the treatment process at some stage. And, you know, this would be ideal, and the hospital, of course, in the best interest of the hospital also. It will be good if they come up with a joint statement as to what actually happened. It could just be a synopsis of what the diagnosis was and what happened. That will set to rest this entire speculation, and it may well preempt a formal ordering of an inquiry by a court, because every day there are more allegations. I mean, what you see on mainstream television, even in Tamil Nadu, is not it. Allegations and rumors, and you know, if they're not refuted soon, then people will start to ask more and more questions. So it is in the best interest of all
do you see,
to come up with a combined synopsis of what happened, put it out in the public domain, and submit the same to the court as well.
It's in the interest of
that
the
will preempt
ADMK, that there be some sort of closure here. If there is no closure, mud will be slung, questions will be raised, and this will never die down.
Mud can be slung, people can cast aspersions. The people of Tamil Nadu have given Amma's governance and the AIDMK party and all the office bearers a resounding victory. Today is a day of celebration for us, as Chinnamma has been unanimously elected as the General Secretary. Answering all these irrelevant questions is irrelevant today. It's a day of celebration for us.
No, but I understand that you want to celebrate today because Chinnamma has risen in the party, Apsara. But the fact is, these are lingering questions. If the centre representatives, Mr. Venkaiah Naidu, for example, Apsara,
all these questions, all these questions will be answered in time. All these questions will be answered in time. Right now, even Chinnamma is still mourning. You've never heard her speak. Give her time to mourn. Irrelevant opposition casting aspersions and asking for all sorts of
but it's not just the opposition, Apsara.
They will get the answers in time.
It's not just the opposition, is it? It's the Tamil magazines. It's the Tamil vernacular media.
It's the Madras High Court.
It's the High Court, Madras. It's not just the media asking the questions or your political opponents. Everybody
it's not the High
asking
Court of Madras. It's the personal opinion of the judge. And we never comment on anything that is sub judice. It's the personal opinion of the judge, as you are aware.
There's also a writ petition in the Supreme Court, Apsara. If you're not aware, a Tamil group has filed it.
I'm very aware of the petition in the Supreme Court, but we never comment on anything that's in the Supreme Court. So let's wait and watch.
So let me ask you one more question, Apsara, then. The fact that the centre's representative, Venkaiah Naidu, when asked this question today, said we have no reason to believe something malafide was going on, but the centre knows exactly what happened. Why doesn't the centre release it? If the Tamil Nadu government is so hesitant for whatever reason, the centre knows because an AIIMS doctor team was right there consulting with the doctors who were attending Jayalalithaa. The centre knows what happened. Why are they so hesitant?
You must put this question to the centre, not to me.
No, I'm asking you because you say that this is an irrelevant question. If it was so irrelevant, Apsara, then the centre would have either said yes or no, black or white. They're dithering.
If it was relevant, Venkaiah Naidu wouldn't have said what he said. He said there is no reason for doubt.
No, he still has the AIIMS doctors' reports. If the government at the centre and the state government currently truly wants this closure for this particular matter, and if you think it's so irrelevant, why don't you upstage all the retractors who are slinging mud right now and giving all kinds of conspiracy theories? Why don't you shut them up once and for all?
As I said, Amma's hospitalization, all the reports and the media reports and the releases from the hospital have been very articulate and have been very transparent. Now, if people want to cast aspersions on it, and if you want to put a question to Mr. Venkaiah Naidu and the centre, you must do so.
So you're saying, Apsara, then, that there will be no white paper, there will be no further, inquiries into what exactly happened in those fateful 75 days, and the current status quo is acceptable to you?
I'm not going to comment on any of the petitions that are pending before courts, and I'm not going to answer any aspersions which are ill-informed and baseless and absolutely cruel. It's still a time of mourning for us with Amma gone, and right now we're trying to keep the party together, and Chinnamma is a unanimous choice.
All right, Sasikala Pushpa is back with us right now. Sanjay Hegde as well. Sasikala Pushpa, right now the ADMK says these are irrelevant questions. You're trying to sling mud. You're looking for your own political opportunities. Would you like to respond to Apsara? She's still on the show right now.
Just call them, tell them I have to go. I have to go.
Hold on, Suman.
First, I want to ask the question, who is Chinnamma? Why, there is only one Amma for Tamil Nadu. What is that Chinnamma? Who termed it so like that? I want to ask. And also, I want to condemn
why didn't Sasikala Pushpa, why didn't Sasikala Pushpa,
Tamil Nadu is a very peaceful and prosperous state. We should not say that it is a vulnerable state. That too from a learned person like Apsara. Because as a citizen and a person from Tamil Nadu, I just want to convey this thing. And also, no one needs publicity from media. Media is doing right, and no need of any publicity for anyone. And also, number three, no legacy needed or expected from Amma to anyone, because attacking anyone is very easy, but being in that place, tackling things is very hard.
All right.
Actually,
can I respond to Sasikala Pushpa very quickly?
Sent out of house of Amma in 2011 by saying that conspiracy has been done. Why don't we suspect something might have happened to Amma by the same family?
First of all,
there are possibilities.
Apsara, would you like
That's
to
the reason.
One
That's the
must
question by
understand.
Tamil Nadu people
Yes,
to
of course.
Chinnamma, the so-called Chinnamma family.
Apsara.
First of all, where was Sasikala Pushpa when she was enjoying the benefits of being the member of the AIDMK? Today she is asking who is Chinnamma. And second of all, it's very unbecoming of a member of parliament to reduce the debate so low. Chinnamma is unanimous
I have
choice of the people
enjoyed
of
the
Tamil Nadu.
benefits
The
of
card has been noticed today in the
what
General
Chinnamma
Council.
has worked
And
for the party. Has he gone to the downtrodden level?
I haven't finished.
Chinnamma
I haven't
has
finished,
gone to the
madam.
downtrodden level.
I haven't finished, madam.
I stood at every street with Mike for my party. Does
Sasikala
Chinnamma
Pushpa-
stood at the street?
Sasikala
Anywhere,
Pushpa
any party
is-
carrier have seen her.
Sasikala Pushpa-
As I worked for the party,
See,
anyone
Sasikala
worked.
Pushpa is-
Chinnamma have worked for that.
Okay, let Apsara answer, please. Let Apsara
Sasikala
answer.
Pushpa can...
May I know
No,
what is
Sasikala, one second.
benefits?
Let Apsara
Sasikala
answer. You
Pushpa-
raised some questions. Let her answer, please. Apsara, go ahead.
First of all, Sasikala Pushpa it's very unbecoming of a member of parliament to take the debate so low. Chinnamma has not even basked in the reflected glory of Amma.
Sir, I
She's just
object
been
this.
a silent
Sir, you should
observer
not-
and she's
you
observed
should not-
government and governance.
you should not allow such
And
kind
first
of
of all,
words
from the
should
right
not
to
talk
respond,
about
madam, please.
ethics
She has
or
the right to
decorum or
respond.
any of that because
Yes, Apsara, go ahead.
she is saying who is Chinnamma. Chinnamma is the only worthy person who's observed governance and government and the party dynamics up close and personal. And she's never even basked in the reflected glory of Amma.
What
In
is
fact,
the
Sasikala
worthiness?
Pushpa takes even the minutest of incident and turns it into a publicity stunt. And she slaps somebody one day, next day she falls on their feet and apologizes to them. She's irrelevant.
Okay, I have to come in here. I have to get a closing remark from Sanjay Hegde because I'm running short on time right now. Sanjay Hegde, in the interest of everyone that is either curious or suspicious or what have you, in the interest of the truth really, what is the problem with singing out medical records and putting it out in the public domain? Do you buy the argument, Sanjay Hegde, that Apsara just gave, that respect the medical privacy of a public figure like Jayalalithaa?
Unless there was something absolutely horrifying in those medical records, which was very personal to the late departed Jayalalithaa, there is no reason why those medical records should not be made public. See, in law we have a saying that men may lie, but documents and circumstances don't. So please, for heaven's sake, just put those documents out in the public domain. The matter will attain closure there. There is all this ghastly talk about exhumation, fresh postmortems and whatnot. Why are we risking all that? Please take the public into confidence and finish it off by just releasing the records.
All right. In the interest of the truth, the public deserves to know. Thank you all for joining us. As Daniel Patrick Moynihan, the late congressman / senator from New York, had said, you have a right to your own opinion in a democracy, but you do not have the right to your own set of facts. Perhaps in the interest of truth, there should be a white paper, but that, of course, is up to the state government. Of course, the centre could also get involved if it wanted to. Thank you, Sanjay Hegde, for joining us. Deepa Jay Kumar, Sasikala Pushpa, A. Sarvanan, Suman Siraman, and Apsara, who joined us as well. Short